your buddy.
Yeah. We here. Welcome to Conversations with Malik podcast show. I'm here with my co-host Jeff Joes.
Yes, sir.
We improvising today with the mics here, and this is the show where we look to inspire people through regular conversations. The goal of this show is to help anyone who listens just to learn how to talk to people. Nobody wants to talk anymore, and we're here just to share our perspectives on today's issues and topics. All we have is our point of view based on our experiences. You know, it's cold again today. You know, it was like 60 degrees on Friday, and now today is like 1. Nah, it's like, you know, it's like 15 degrees today, man. And you know, we're located here in Baldwin out of our makeshift studio until we get into our studio that will be built in April. We're gonna be working on that, and by way of Queens, by the way. And I give you to my man Jeff Joes.
Yes, sir. Before we get started on today's show, don't forget to follow us up on Instagram at ConWMalik, and I'll spell it. That's ConWMalik. Like us on Facebook, Conversations with Malik. That's with a W and a slash. Also follow us on Twitter at ConWMalik. And like I said before in our previous shows, and I'm always going to say this, if you have anybody that have an interesting story that would like to share it with us on our show, something special that might inspire somebody else, feel free to touch base with us. Email us at conwmalik@gmail.com. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, Conversations with Malik, because we are a family of businesses, self-made. We're big on support and encouragement. Hit us up.
No doubt. And today I'm blessed to have a brother who, you know, who's definitely a well-known DJ who has been doing this thing in the Queens area, New York City area, for that matter, for a minute. We here with DJ Lennox. What's up, my brother?
What's up, everybody? I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, man, happy to be here. Straight off the New Year's Eve party.
Yeah.
Where I was, you know, listen, man, you know, we made it happen. We did what we had to do, and you know, and I also want to, you know, my thing is, Lennox, man, you know, I wanted to have you here because, you know, we got some things that we're going to be doing. And before we get into all of that stuff and in the future, I just want to, it's real important to me for people who, there might be other kids out there that want to be a DJ. Right. And I believe that, you know, stories can inspire people to want to be something, right? You know, so on a lot of these shows, man, you got all of the big time people on these shows, and everybody might not, you know, can be, you know, they can maybe be a Puff Daddy or LeBron James, but sometimes just the regular people like you and me get overlooked.
Right.
And we've got like tremendous things that we've overcome to become who and what we are.
Right.
You know, but, you know, just to kind of, you know, start it off, man, you know, how did you get started DJing? What was your motivating factor to being a DJ?
I don't know how much time we got, but I got a lot to talk about how everything came about with me DJing. I'm gonna try to make it as like short as possible.
Nah, you know, do your thing, man. Like, do your thing. We run the show here.
All right. When I started DJing, I was young, right? I'm gonna tell you the back end story on what kind of caused me to start DJing. It was kind of like God, fate, kind of put me in that place for it.
Right.
But and the last stuff that I'm gonna talk about, y'all guys are gonna be familiar from it because y'all are part of the Queens culture of South Jamaica.
Right.
All right. So back in the days, I'm gonna start with my father. My father is Trinidadian Caribbean, right? He came up here, I think, to America, say about, I think he was like 15. to be exact, right? I think it's either 13, 15, one or two. I always get it mixed up, right? And my mom is American. She's Georgia, straight from Georgia.
Wow, what a mix.
To South Jamaica. You get what I'm saying?
What a mix. Okay.
Right. So
this is going to be interesting.
Right, that's what I said. My story. So I feel like I'm American and I'm Caribbean. So I got best of both worlds, I feel.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So when I say that,
so that's why you like kind of with the soca and you can
Right.
okay, because I've been looking at your Instagram page and you do it all. Okay.
Right. So that allowed me to be able to be multicultural. I can do everything. You get what I'm saying? So that's a plus when you can do that because you can cater to literally everyone.
So in your house you had fried chicken and then you also had curry chicken.
That's exactly what I was getting to. That's exactly.
What was that dynamic
That's what
like?
I'm saying. 1 minute I go to my mom's family side of that, I'm getting collard greens and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hog maws.
I'm getting all the southern hospitality food that you could think of. Grits.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everything.
Right.
But then when on my pop side, I'm getting oxtail, roti, stewed chicken, white rice, you know what I'm saying?
And they talking different too.
Exactly. So I'm getting best of both worlds.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that was one of the things that was like a plus for me because I got raised both ways and both ways were good.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own particular way of doing things.
Right.
It was both excellent. So it raised me to be who I am, humble and just ready to just do what I do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not take everything to the head about others. Because a lot of people, I could say, out of accomplishments that I have made in the past and still going now, would be super big headed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't let none of that stuff get to my head because I feel like if I can do a party for somebody when I just started in somebody's basement or backyard, same me if I'm doing a party in front of 10,000 people.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Like festival or something like that.
Nice, because it's the craft.
Right. Or DJing on the radio for thousands of people or millions of people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To me, it doesn't change. You know what I'm saying? Because the same person that's listening out of the 10,000 or the millions or whatever is the same person that would allow me to DJ in the backyard.
So when you first heard, when did you first hear the scratching? When did your consciousness first? That's what DJing is.
All right, so this is when I was younger, like elementary school, right? My godfather and my cousins, my godfather, my kind of like my father / mother side, the American side, they were DJs in 40 Projects. It was Monkey and Rat.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, my pops met Monkey when he first came up to New York, United States, and they became like really close friends, like best friends. So like they
that's
like
old
like
school
basically
South
like
Side,
right? So
oh
like
my
family.
goodness.
So, you know that the whole background between I don't want to. Can I be like real
go
straightforward?
ahead.
All right, so the whole background with the whole drug game and all that stuff.
Yes.
My pops knew everybody that was in there. You know what I'm saying?
Corley and all of them.
Corley is basically like my godfather. To basically kind of say, you get what I'm saying? Because my father was around Monk and Corley while all that stuff was going on, but my father was more like a working guy because he's Caribbean, you know what I'm saying? But he always dealt with music as well. So he used to take like he was more like a sound guy where he was like setting up the equipment. He would pick up the sound, drop it off, stuff like that. And Monkey and them was more like the DJs, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So that aspect of me being around it, I'm around the Caribbean side of it because my cousins and them playing soca and reggae. You know what I'm saying?
I told you he was with soca
and
reggae.
then a Monkey and them being around them on the American side, I'm hearing, and my mom, I'm hearing all the disco, all the 80s. I'm hearing all of
African Bambaataa.
Right. Yeah, all of that. I'm hearing all of that.
The names that we're mentioning right now, like Monkey and Rat, just so listeners that's listening right now,
they know if they from they know.
We just want to actually explain exactly who those folks are, because for those that's not familiar,
they know.
Right.
They know.
So, Monkey's my godfather, and I always say his name wrong. My actually other godfather.
Right.
He was locked up for a couple, you know what I'm saying, for a good while, but when he came out, him, all of them like real close with each other. Right?
Okay.
So in the same meantime, I'm growing around with like all this stuff is happening.
So how old are you at this time?
I'm probably like at like elementary school,
Right.
And then I'm going into junior high school.
So who was it that you first heard?
I can't even say, honestly. I would say mostly that I first heard was my cousins.
Okay.
The Caribbean aspect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing the big sound and speakers. And my father.
Sound class side.
Yeah, right. I'm seeing and hearing all of that. But I'm like, yeah, this is cool. So, as being young, you run around in the projects and you got, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Family. And then on the Caribbean aspect, you're all the barbecues.
All of the
and,
block parties, the park jams.
I'm around all of that.
It was electric then,
Right.
man.
So
oh, my goodness.
That's when, like, records and everything. So, I would mess with it, but not take it serious. Like, oh, what's this? I'm a little light-skinned kid. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I look cute.
Right.
But I wasn't taking
So
it
you was
serious.
actually putting records on the thing and spinning?
Yeah, just messing around. But at that time, I was doing, like, the little 45s.
Okay.
Because those like the smaller records that would come in.
Goodness. Remember
with
the
tunes,
45s?
right? So they would put, like, certain rhythms and stuff on that. And then, say when I have my god brother's monkey son. His name is DJ G Money. When Monkey basically gave him his set for, I think, Christmas, they bought him like a set, whatever. And he was like, he sat me and my god brother down. He was like, yo, we used to DJ back in the days. Mind you, I'm like 15 and my god brother's like 13. You know what I'm saying? At that time. So we like, so I'm in like junior high school. You know what I'm saying? And he's in junior high school, but I'm about to leave out. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like 7th, 8th grade. Messing around with it, but not taking it serious. So when he really gave us a set, you know what I'm saying? He really gave it to him, but it was just like, now since I'm with my god brother most of the time,
it was like it's yours too.
Right. It was like mine too.
And it was on.
Right. And I can mess with it more, more, you know what I'm saying? Hands on. Instead of just going to, you go to your cousin's house whenever you go to and it's there, you mess with it. So then I started really learning the fundamentals, but for the wrong reasons, for the right reasons, right? He sat us down as men, right?
Right.
And was like, and everybody can relate this as when you're young,
Yeah.
right? You're not, your mind is not on, right? So he said the two things that mattered to us at the moment. We used to play basketball and stuff, do the basketball tournaments and stuff like that, and we would mess around with the music.
Right.
So he said, "This is what got happen for y'all guys, right? Because we used to do this." He was like, you can meet a lot of girls. And you can make some money.
Shrink.
So we looked at each other like,
that's it. That's
make money
it.
and meet girls.
It's on.
All right. So that's what it was just
whatever motivates you.
Because we had the love for the music anyway. You know what I'm saying? But that was just more as a younger kid. Like,
what do you think about at 15?
We can make like our own money.
I
Like,
don't
we don't
even know
gotta
if
ask our parents for money. Like, we can make our own money.
Yeah.
And it's something for us to do and learn. And we like it already.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
So what was your first party?
All right,
the first party you did.
I feel like my first party was a basement party that I did in junior high school.
Basement
I think it
parties.
was 7th, 8th grade.
Oh, I remember the basement parties.
I took my father's equipment and I mixed it up with some of my friends' equipment and made it happen. Like I was.
And you were the DJ.
Yeah, and I was the DJ.
How did you do?
I did good. I did really good.
Was you scared? You was nervous?
I wouldn't say
like
I
mean
scared.
when you first set up and it's
now
now you gotta play the record.
I was more excited, like, I'm finally about to, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I got my music, I'm about to DJ. I was just more excited.
Now I got another question. What was your DJ name at that time?
I didn't even have a name.
There was no name.
Because I've heard some names like
I didn't
DJ
even have a name.
Scrappy Doo and all kinds of stuff.
And then they was just like, you gotta come up with a name.
You ain't have a name?
No, I didn't have a name.
So what was the first name?
So they was thinking like, I used to wear a lot of blue and stuff because blue was my favorite color. So they was like, you should call you DJ Blue. I was like, DJ Blue, but I don't think that doesn't fit me. You know what I'm saying?
Blue.
But that was more like in junior high school what they're saying. So
I see you, Butch. I see you.
So after that, I went and I was just like, that's not. But that was like something like my friends.
You just went in with no name.
With no name. So people started calling me my family calls me Gerard. That's my middle name, right?
Okay.
And my first name is Lennox.
Okay.
So my father's name is Lennox too. but I'm not a junior.
Lennox.
Right.
It's really
You know what I'm
Lennox. It
saying?
ain't
Right.
Lennox.
Right. So Caribbean people say Lennox.
Lennox.
And the American people say Lennox. So
Lennox
either
from,
way, you know what I'm saying?
From Juice.
Right.
No, not Juice.
I think was it
the movie with
Belly?
Belly.
Yeah, right. So from there, when I got to high school, when I got to, everybody just was like, yo, Lennox.
And that was it.
That's it.
Oh, so you didn't go through 3, 4, 5 names.
No, I just went because the blue was like something that we just spoke of as friends, and I was just like, that's not something that I went out and like, yo, call me, you know what I'm saying? But that was just like us like having a conversation, like, yo, you know, we gonna call you, you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, I don't know.
Yeah, names are given to you in the in the black community anyway.
At some point, it was just left at Lennox.
Yeah.
Right. So I would say at that point it was just like Lennox, but just remember they called me Gerard, like people that know me in the neighborhood and stuff. So when they started calling me by my first name, it was because of the teachers in school, and they was like, "Who's Lennox?"
Right.
And he was like, "Oh, that's Gerard." You get what I'm saying?
Okay,
So,
gotcha.
Okay.
Right. So now people in 40 and Basie, everybody from South Jamaica, they know me as being Dennis' son, Gerard.
Gotcha.
Monkey's godson, Gerard.
So where was this first
So they was
party
like,
at?
where's Lennox?
Where was this
You know what I'm
basement?
saying?
Where was this basement party at?
Yeah, it was in Queens. It was like in my neighborhood, like on Rockaway Boulevard, right by Rochdale.
So
right over there by
so
there.
from that, you know, how long did it take for your name to really start picking up and people say, yo, I want you to do mine? You did a good job at that party?
Right. So this was exactly what started happening. You know, when you start DJing for your friends. Yeah. So I started DJing for friends for school.
Gotcha.
And then I started becoming popular off of that. So then what ended up happening even more is that how I got so good at being versatile was when I started doing for my friends, right? I started doing, now we're learning we always heard the music, but we was learning the old school music, like Monk age, you know, my pop's age, your age, you know what I'm saying? So we're learning that music, plus we're learning the kids' music that we already listen to.
Gotcha.
So now we're playing mad teen parties. I'm doing mad teen parties for my age bracket, right? And as I'm doing
For free, or you getting paid?
no, I'm getting paid. Like, not
Wow.
crazy, but I'm getting like $50, $100. At that time, that was like,
yeah.
it was good.
Well, you could buy a pair of sneakers off the app for $65
Right,
back
so-
then.
But what I was doing was
Shoot.
investing in myself by getting better equipment and getting records and CDs and stuff like that to get better. Because what I had,
entrepreneur mind frame.
right, because I didn't have it like that. My father and my mom wanted me to kind of like work and do it on my own instead of them just giving it to me. You know what I'm saying?
So they was you were learning that work ethic
right.
of how to create.
Right. No offense to like my godbrother, and he was able to just get the set, you know what I'm saying, from my godfather. But I was unfortunate to do that because they wanted me to like earn it.
But see, Lennox. So you know, and me and you talk about that because it's something when you find a part of you that you didn't know that was there. When you have to make it happen,
Right.
when you could kind of depend on somebody else, it's sort of like a kickstand. Right. Or it's like riding a bike with training wheels.
Right.
You know, you still got the dangers of riding a bike, but you can always rely on the training wheels. Right. But when the training wheels are off, you understand that I have to balance this.
Right.
You know, and it creates a new you. That's deep. You said
right.
that.
So that's basically what happened. And as my parents started seeing that I was serious, they started now investing.
And that's cool.
And like my mom, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm going to help you buy this. I'm going to help my pops. I'm going to help you buy this. Because they started seeing the feedback from it. Like my father's the type of person, he doesn't really, he's like me. He doesn't gloat or talk about, you know what I'm saying, his accomplishments or things like that. He rather let the action speak words. So a lot of people started figuring out like, Lennox is your son. That's Gerard. You get what I'm saying? And he's like, yeah. He's like, your son is a really good DJ. You get what I'm saying? So that started making him like, yo, I'm proud. You know what I'm saying? Right. So he started even helping me more to get more equipment.
Gotcha.
My mom was doing it, but my mom bought me my bought me my first pair of turntables. Turntables, basically.
Nice.
Back then, it wasn't It wasn't 1200s back then, right?
Nah, it was
New
1200s were around, but our first pair of turntables was like Geminis.
Geminis?
Yeah,
Because I remember the Geminis, the new marks,
yeah,
they had the
I had
mixes
to-
as well.
Right, I had to work my way up to like the techniques and all that stuff.
Yeah, because
a
that was
process.
like back then, that was like the Gucci Louis Vuitton of
Right,
turntables.
right. So back to what I was saying. My god brother, he was right off top got techniques. You get what I'm saying? So I had to kind of like, you know what I mean? I learned off of those to, you know what I'm saying? To learn what's the right thing and what's the working up to get to that level. Because, you know, the Geminis don't work as good as the techniques. You get what I'm saying? So it's a process. So I had to learn that process, learn sound better with my pops and stuff like that with speakers. I learned how to take speakers apart, put speakers together, amps and stuff. I learned what certain ohms and red and black mean and negative and positive. So I had to basically teach myself that, mind you, and like learn what needles and, you know, what the needle does. I had to learn all of that stuff.
Yeah.
To,
And that's a science.
Right, and that's a science. And then learn music. You have to learn music. So the learn music aspect was learn the old school music, learn the new school music, learn all types of music, because my father always said you gotta cater to everybody, because you don't know who's in that crowd. It could be Spanish, it could be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Black, Afro, African, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It could be anybody.
And old school
Haitian,
music
you know
is
what I'm
also
saying?
the basics of
Trini.
the new school music. So you can't, I
Right.
mean, I don't think you could be an effective new school DJ and not even know the old school.
Well, the DJs now are like that.
Really?
Right, because they just pick up a laptop and they play what they want. So if they like new hip hop and they just want to do what they do, because it's a different type of DJs, but it's a lot of DJs now that's picking up laptops, putting music on it, and think that they're DJ.
And thinking that
right,
they
instead of
deep.
actually going through the whole
You ain't
process.
no DJ.
Right, I went through the whole process from records to CDs to laptop. You know what I'm saying? That whole process was a long process. You know what I'm saying?
But let me ask this: like, some of those DJs, they probably started off just like you did as well. As they got known,
Right.
is that what they doing now? Just putting stuff together and just make it pretend that they doing their job, but they're doing their job, but they're not doing it like where they doing it raw.
Well, they doing a job, but you can tell the difference from somebody that was doing it raw to somebody that just picked it up and started doing it. You get what I'm saying? Because we have certain experiences of certain things on what we did coming up to be how we are now. You get what I'm saying? So it's like kind of like talent over, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Over just like I'm popular. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's basically the thing, like talent over popular. So a lot of DJs have ways to being very popular, have huge followings, but they're just not as talented as the actual DJ that went through all of that.
What DJ did you want to be like? What DJ did you hear and say, yo, I want to mix like him?
DJ Mr. C from Hot 97.
Really?
Yes. I could.
Are you talking about back when he was with Big Daddy Kane?
Back when he was with Big Daddy Kane, when he was on Hot 97, all that. But the way that I really found out about Mr. C was that he was on Hot 97, but then learned that he was Big Daddy Kane DJ and Biggie's DJ. And he's a close friend of mine from, now. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, he was instrumental in Big getting on.
He was one of the people that I learned about by accident because of a situation that presented itself. And when I found out about him, I was like, he's just like me. He was Trini and American. You get what I'm saying? And I'm Trini and American. But C played everything at the best level possible. Right or wrong?
Yeah, no,
He's one of the dopest DJs.
C's
you know what I'm saying? So he played everything. I'm like, I do the same thing. So I started looking at what he does. And I just happened to be, I guess, just as humble as him. And I wasn't like really into like the fashion and trying to be flashy and stuff like that. I was never, and he was the same way. You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
He let the music basically talk for him. Right.
Was
Instead of him doing that.
Was you ever part of like a rap group or anything? Like
No.
you never had a rapper, y'all were in a group or tried to make records. You never did any of that?
Never did any rapping.
Way back then, usually DJs, even up to now, DJs is, but with artists, a lot of them,
Right.
you know, they, like for instance, you got Jam Master Jay.
Right.
A lot of those guys back then, those artists really looked up to their DJs.
Right.
Like back then, they had the dances and stuff.
And
You know,
that's how
I mean,
got on as a
yeah,
DJ.
that's how you got on.
Right.
You hooked up with a rapper. So you saying you never was a DJ for an artist or a
never
rapper or
DJ
anything.
for artist or rapper, anything.
And that
coming
goes
up.
back. That goes back to another question that I had because, you know, like DJs, y'all got a ear, a certain type of ear
That's
for
a
music.
Fact. That's a fact.
So most DJs, you probably already know, has became producers like Just
Right.
Blaze,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Dre,
Yeah.
Kanye West. Those guys used to DJ.
Right.
So is that something that influences you too, like in music, is
well-
producing as well?
Well, it wasn't really for me producing. When I was coming up, after after the teen parties and stuff like that, and being real popular in the neighborhood because of that, because what we started doing was the teen parties, and then started doing old school parties, and then everybody started getting familiar with us. You know what I'm saying? As far as DJing, oh, that's Dennis' son. You know what I'm saying? Putting 2 to 2 together, right? So what I tried to do as I was coming up, once I was like in high school and then getting out of high school, I decided to do something different from everybody else, was mix American music with Caribbean music, because the reggae artists were jumping on hip hop beats, if you don't remember.
I remember that.
You
I
get what I'm
remember
saying?
that.
And
Yeah.
it was sounding dope.
Yeah.
So what I started doing at the time that I was coming up was do the same thing. So I would make like certain remixes where I would take a reggae acapella and put on the hip hop beat,
Ooh.
just like a regular blend, you know? Because a lot of people would take the R&B artists or the hip hop artists and put them on a different beat, and it would sound dope.
Okay.
That's where like blends and stuff came in.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me switch it around and see if I. But the thing was, you have to have certain relationships to get the reggae acapellas, because those are really hard to get. Yeah. So by me being around a circle of people that were like big Caribbean DJs,
Okay.
and they had relationship with the artists, I was able to get certain acapellas.
Nice.
And then put them together. Just like if you two turntables and you make a blend, I was doing that, and it became popular to a point that how I met Mr. C is how me and the relationship started. I was DJing in Brooklyn, right? Now I'm gonna go a little bit back, right?
Okay.
So at a young age, I was inside the Q Club. Don't ask me how I got.
Oh
in there.
my goodness.
But I was in there.
Oh,
So
I just got goosebumps.
Q Club is the Queens. What's that? That's considered like the Queens Biltmore Ballroom,
right.
in Brooklyn days.
Yo, Greg said that's DJ. What do you call you?
CD.
DJ CD.
Right. See? So when I
He
met
said, "What's up, boy?"
when I met Greg, I just transferred.
And Katura said, Katura said, "Hey, Lennox, what's up?"
Hey, Katura. So from
That's Katura's my family.
oh wow, I didn't know that.
that's
Well,
family right there.
Katura knows part of my history because she was like one of the people that supported me as far as like the parties and stuff like that.
Katura was raised in my house.
Wow, so she knows like
Dude,
she knows her part.
I
she
mean,
knows
I used to pass her
part
a
of my
bottle like,
story.
"Hey, here's your bottle." She's like, "Hey, what's up, Katura?"
yeah, she knows part of my story. So, so basically, Greg CD part, family member is like family with Greg, and Greg was one of the people that hired me to come DJ at his house. And at that time, I was using CDs instead of records. And he would,
That's why he says CD.
right,
That's why he says CD.
right. And he was like, Greg was like,
how'd
yo,
you pull that off, man?
how? And at that time, records would transfer over into CD. You get what I'm saying? And I did it. I still have my records, but CDs were more easy to move around with. So he was looking at me like, yo, how are you killing this party with CDs?
With CDs.
Because they were still stuck on records, but the technology was changing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, how was you flipping it? How was you doing it like
Well,
that?
they made like these CD turntables where you can use CDs just like if you use
CD turntable.
you know what I'm saying? So that's what we still use from this day. You get what I'm saying? You scratch everything. But at that time, it was still like new to everybody. But I jumped on it because I felt that it was easier and less spending. Because records were costing, you know what I'm saying?
And it was heavier to carry.
Right. And CDs, you can get like 20-something songs on one CD.
Right.
Then on a record, you might get like 6.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Depending if it was like a rhythm, you get
Right.
the whole rhythm.
Right.
But hip hop, you might get like 6 records, 3 on the front. You know what I'm saying? 3 on the back, maybe 4. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So
right.
I would get that. So that's what I end up transitioning to doing. You know what I'm saying? The whole CD thing, because it was cheaper and you got more from it.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Right. So back to the Mr. C aspect with the remixes, because that was a good question. Right. So after the Q Club, I went to this club. I was like there when they had like reggae night at the Q Club. They would like sneak me in. And I would just be in there, you know what I'm saying? And it was to be packed. And I was like the young kid just in there, not supposed to be in there, but I'm in there just certain nights and listening to the music and learning the music. Then from there, I went to Club A on Rockaway Boulevard at Farmers, right where the McDonald's is at. It's the Jamaican Flavors now. So that's when I was like right out of like high school. I'm in Club A now, and I'm learning. So just for me being from the area and us throwing the parties and stuff, the older DJs were looking at us because we were like, I guess like we had like the new following. So they like, yo, if we grab the younger guys, teach them what they do, then it's gonna keep us relevant.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? So they started doing
Gotcha.
that with us. So I ended up running into Pee Wee from Pretty Posse, Reg from Spectrum, and all the all the reggae real big DJs from Queens. Bobby Cons,
Yeah, you was in the music industry.
So
you know a lot of those
I
guys.
end up running into them at Club A. Mind you, I'm young Lennox. I'm like 17, 18.
There was those were well-known DJs.
Right.
Back then.
But I didn't know that. I'm just looking like I'm from the neighborhood. I see them, you know what I'm saying, in the neighborhood all the time.
So you had no idea that these
No.
these guys were well known.
No. What happened is that we were doing what we were doing in the neighborhood. So people were talking of us like, yo, you need to get Lennox or you need to get this person because they DJ all our parties when we had team parties and stuff like that. We were those guys. So they would ask them, because they were like the radio guys and the bigger guys, to put them on a party with us. So then we build a relationship with them.
Wow.
So then they seen certain things in me and how humble and how I wanted to learn and stuff like that. They was like, yo, Lennox, we're going to grab you under the wing and we're going to teach you. You know what I'm saying? Now, them teaching me, it benefited them and it benefited me in the same way, because me doing the parties that I was doing with my younger audience, I'm bringing them in and they're getting paid from it. You get what I'm saying? So they're making money with us. So best of both worlds. And then they're putting me in situations that I have no idea to make me a bigger and better DJ. You get what I'm saying?
So this is actually some of the groundwork that happens for DJs that's trying to get their names out there.
Right. But it happened naturally for me because of my talent. They seen something in me and was like, yo, we can use him. You get what I'm saying? And mold him into being, better.
Were you confident of yourself at that time?
Yeah, but I was not as confident because I was humble, because I wanted to learn. I wasn't like, I know everything. No. Yeah. Like, I'm more like, yo, I want to learn, because I seen certain things that they did that I was like, I don't know how to do that, but I want to learn how to do that. You get what I'm saying? So I would ask. And then at the same time of me asking, they were just putting me in positions and I was just putting them in positions, and then everybody was making money. You get what I'm saying?
You said something about the acapellas, and I know like with a lot of that reggae stuff.
Right.
It's
that's how I got it from.
Getting
not
acapella.
Right. But they were in the business.
I'm sure
producing those
them
type
guys,
of records.
They could get those records.
That's exactly who I got it from.
Yeah.
But nobody knew what I was doing. You get what I'm saying? Like, I was hearing it, and I'm like, oh, this might do that. But nobody was doing what I was thinking about doing.
There's a terminology for that. Is it dub plate?
Right.
Dub plate.
They were doing like dub plays where artists would say their name in a song and do it a certain. They would cut it a certain way.
Big name reggae artist.
Yeah, big name reggae artist. So I just took like the hottest reggae song and then the hottest hip hop song and put them together. But it was hard to get the acapella.
But the beats and stuff got to match with the
Exactly.
verbiage. That's a little
and
tricky.
And the message. And the message of the song.
Wait.
Yeah.
So you
certain
saying
songs have a message. Well,
certain
every
songs have a message, and certain messages go with certain kind of beats and rhythms?
Right. So say for
I
instance,
never thought about it like that.
right. So if you hear a song, right, if it's like a love song or whatever, and the reggae artist is talking about a love song that's real popular in the reggae community, and you got an R&B song that's very popular in the American community, let's see if they could go together. And some of the songs would actually go together and sound really good. Like, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And then when you do it, it's like, wow. So when I played it, think about it. You hear your favorite hot R&B song, right? And then you're Caribbean. And then you hear me mix in your favorite artist that's Caribbean on that beat. You like, yo, because
you know what
that
give me an example of one.
You know what's interesting?
Let's let Lennox sing song right now.
I can't personally sing, but I can tell you one that
I
sounds
can tell you one, yeah,
super dope.
The Alicia Keys and the
which one?
Alicia Keys and was that I think it was Alicia Keys and Sprague Benz or one of them.
Something like that. That could sound like something dope.
It was Sprague Benz song.
It was damn, it's a reggae artist,
right?
And they put Alicia Keys, I think her a cappella version of one of her songs, and they connected it with this reggae artist. I forgot.
It could be like something simpler, like Wayne Wonder. You know what I'm saying? Singing something with Alicia Keys, and you just hear the Alicia Keys record, and then you hear Wayne Wonder voice come in. Wayne Wonder sounds like he could be like an R&B artist / reggae artist, but it sounds good. You get what I'm saying? Just to kind of get the mix of everything. So basically, from there, I went from Club A, ended up getting shut down and all that stuff, and Retro Spectrum took me to Brooklyn. Now I ain't know nobody in Brooklyn. I was like by myself. You get what I'm saying? But he was like, yo, you got the talent. When I say tough, yo,
tough crowds. Right. So, I got family. We used to be out there.
Right. So I'm from South Jamaica, Queens, and the heart of East. What part of Jamaica? It's East New York. Right.
Oh,
in East New York. So I was DJing at
listen, I know a lot of people in East New York, Van Sicklen between New Lots and Livonia.
Right.
They used to call that Vietnam.
Right. So I'm at the.
I had a lot of fights over there, Lennox. Yo, Lennox, listen, I'm going on 45.
Right.
So when I used to spend summers out there,
right,
I got into a lot of fights because I was good at breaking.
Right.
So they would put people up to battle me. They used to call me Queens.
Right.
And they put people up to battle me, so I would eat them. You know, eat it, stomach big, and I was kind of nice. Right. So after I eat the kid, you know, kids from around there got low self-esteem.
Right.
So what do you think he wanted to do after I ate him?
Right.
Fight you.
Oh.
Right, because you beat him the other way.
Oh, man, one summer I had like 6 fights.
So he kind of...
We used to go to the park jams on Miller Park.
Right.
Miller Park jams.
So,
oh, my goodness.
So me having like certain family that was living in Brooklyn.
Shout out to the East.
The Caribbean aspect.
Maurice and all y'all out there, the OGs. I know them.
Right. So now I'm in the heart of, I'm like in one of the hardest core clubs in freaking Brooklyn. So people of Brooklyn know when I say that club, they know the type of, you know what I'm saying?
And you got to come right.
Right.
Because they'll run you off the turntable.
That's exactly what I was
literally.
That was happening.
But my
that's exactly what was happening. Like,
I mean, I never realized that could happen to a DJ.
Oh my God, I seen it happen.
Somebody could run you off the
turntable. I done seen situations where a dude was playing a song. It could have been a record or a CD, right? And he was not doing, or he did not respect the culture or the order of music. And dude straight came and stopped the music on him and said next sound or next DJ lineup. You know how disrespectful that is in front of everybody?
But in the case
watching you, especially think of somebody that came to see you. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And
I never knew something like that could take place.
Yes.
Because you're not
seen it.
You saying that because you're not playing the right records or something that person want to hear.
You just, if you're not playing the right record,
because you got the whole audience
right
dancing.
It could be like
into your music.
It could be if you're not playing the right record, or it could be like it has a certain Caribbean, like it was built on a certain order. So they would do like old to new, right? So if you come in at 12 o'clock and you playing songs that should be played at like 3 o'clock in the morning, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're messing up the party. It's like you're rushing the party. You get what I'm saying? And the promoter or whoever however you got on, or the club, or how you got in, it was a certain order. And in certain DJs, the elders, I call them, had a certain respect where they held certain things for it to be a certain way. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So in that situation, it was like, yo, somebody like an elder, or they would send somebody that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yo, take him off. Like,
That's not that's not your you haven't had that.
no, that never
experience.
happened to me, but I have seen that happen.
What's your worst experience as a
Um,
DJ? What's like your worst experience? I'm sure
honestly-
like you guys go through so much.
Oh, I would
You
say
gotta
my worst experience was my speaker caught on fire.
Oh,
Like literally
At a party. I was DJing a party.
flames.
Fames, yes. I was DJing a party for a friend of mine, right? At his house, big barbecue, whatever the case may be. And I think it was like his graduation barbecue or something like that. And I had just got some speakers that were like given to me, right? And the wiring, I guess, you know, I was overexcited that I got the speakers, but never checked like the wiring inside of the actual speaker. And I guess from the power that we was pushing from the amps and stuff, I guess the wires crossed somewhere in there and end up burning the speaker out. So we remember we see one speaker just catching on fire to a point that we had to take the speaker. They poured soda, water, everything. But I'm just thankful it was outside. You get what I'm saying? When it happened.
Soda water.
But that was a lesson learned.
I hope
Like, yo,
they ain't
you
pouring no liquor
gotta
on it.
look over your speakers, Lennox. You get what I'm saying?
So
Like,
that was the end of the party.
no, we had other speakers that were
Oh,
still working, but
gotcha.
yeah, but that particular speaker, which was a scoop bass bottom, caught on fire. So the tops and stuff was still working. I had one other extra bottom still working.
So
So I
so
just
did you
used one.
so
with the
did
other
you
two.
ever have you know, okay, that was your worst experience.
Right.
But did you ever have a time where the crowd disapproved of you, where you felt like I kind of bombed this?
Honestly, I don't think God don't ever let this happen to me, but I never had that experience.
it's one of them things that could happen.
Right, it definitely could happen, yeah. But I was so hard on myself to learn to do everything the right way. That never happened to me because of the experience. You get what I'm saying? That I learned from other people to do the right thing at all times. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to the crowd, see what they're vibing to. You know what I'm saying? See who's in there. Sometimes test certain songs, because you do got to test certain songs to kind of see who's in there, because you can't tell all the time by a person the way they look, what culture they're from.
Right.
You know what I'm
'Cause
saying?
it's funny you said that, because
Or
even
what
with
type
the
of
new
music they like.
even with the New Year's Eve bash, right? Like there was a lot of West Indians there,
Right.
you know. And of course they used to listening and going to a party and hearing soca music, reggae music.
Right.
But they almost, because you livened up the party so much with a bunch of American stuff that was popular,
Right.
they forgot about their own culture side of the music.
Right.
You know, not saying that they didn't want it, but they was all interacting with what you was playing.
Right.
So you went in there just kind of, you don't know like what culture or what background.
Right.
they
I
are,
have no idea.
You know,
I just could just look at the crowd and to see.
it was mixed.
Right.
But you played all the right records that made even the West Indian people stand up and dance
Right.
and moving around and shaking and things like that. So
Right.
that must be a difficult task for you. Just like
It is, because it's like you gotta kind of like, what I learned in the past is you play the records that everybody should know first. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always like that Billboard type 40. You know what I'm saying? Where
go
like,
by people's reactions too.
Right.
When you actually playing the record,
Right.
you see like 10 people dancing. Then next thing you know, you see another 10.
right.
So you kind of continuously
Right, and you
hit
just
them with
stay in
that
that
same
right.
vibe.
You kind of stay in that, and then you, like I said before, you test certain records, one or two, like you sneak it in there, and then you look at the reaction, and you like, okay, I could go more with this because they like that. You get what I'm saying? So what I decided to do at the New Year's party was like, all right, I'm gonna play all the basic records that everybody should know, and then I'm gonna test certain records. But then I still have to. It's still other people in here that has to get their music, which is the Caribbean aspect of it.
And you only got a certain amount of time, which I wish
Right.
you'd had more time, but
so
we'll
me-
work on that for next year.
me having that time, I utilized that time perfect. By certain people might say, and I just had a conversation earlier about this, or yesterday, where certain people felt like when I DJ at certain clubs, I would play the music too fast. Now, the reason why it would be like that is they will book me for an hour. Now, an hour, I could play like 8 records or 12, 15 records, but I ain't get my point across. So I would cram that hour and play 30, 40 records to get my point across, to show everybody in there that I'm versatile. So I would play 15 minutes of this, 15 minutes of that, 15 minutes of this, and by the time the hour's up. Now, if I had 2 or 3 or 4 hours, then I have an hour to show each genre of music that I can do.
Like for him to have
You understand what I'm saying?
opportunity. Yeah, yeah.
So I could be like, yo, I could go to old school, play a little bit old school, then go to another genre, and then go back to old school. You get what I'm saying?
How do you deal with Lennox being at a party, and we're here with DJ Lennox on Conversations with Malik. Thanks for tuning in. How do you deal with, as you're doing a party,
right?
The person you're doing the party for is coming up making requests, and the people from an audience is coming up making requests. Because even at the party, I saw there was a occasion where I saw people coming over saying, why don't you play this and that? So how do you got your lineup, but then maybe the person that's, I didn't do that with you,
right?
But the person that's, I was too busy running my mouth on the mic, wilding out.
Right.
But the person that is maybe paying you is saying, hey, play X, Y, and Z. How do you, that must be a tough balance.
That is really hard, because it's more like just telling them like, yo, I promise you I'm gonna get that record on for you. Just let me take care of this first, and then after.
And then you gotta remember that,
right,
though.
That's the please of remembering too. Like last night I did a party and I went through that, and I was just like, yo, let me just, like I did a Sweet 16 last night, right? Just speaking of a Sweet 16. Now people, since I'm versatile, I could play for everybody. Right, so the older people don't know I could play for them because they don't know DJ Lennox. They just meet DJ Lennox for the first time. Right. So they like, oh, he played for the kids only. No,
and it'd be a lot of older people at Sweet 16s nowadays.
Exactly.
It's like it's their party.
Right. So I played for the younger folks, right, and then I gave like the last, say, 30 minutes, where I told the young lady, I was like, do you mind if I could just let me take care of your moms and them real quick? You know what I'm saying?
Because there was older folks there.
Right. And she was like, sure, we like that music, because I played everything they wanted to hear already. So they satisfied. So they like, okay, we could do electric slide and cha-cha slide. And you know what I'm saying? We cool with that. And that brought everybody together. So the last 30 minutes of it, I just went crazy with. And they looking at me like, yo.
But the thing about it
is, you
is,
play that too? I'm like, yeah.
The thing about it is, man, like, you got those well-known guys like the Mr. C's.
Right.
I'm sure that they out of that realm. That doesn't happen to them when they're doing a party. Where
now you'd be surprised. It still happens.
Man. People come over,
really, right? Because it's never a place where you can go as a DJ and everybody knows who you are. It could be Funk Master Flex. Not everybody knows who Funk Master Flex is, because you gotta remember he goes different places in the country. Some people know who he is, some people don't, because they just don't listen to that type of genre of music. Right. You know what I'm saying? So you always have to cater.
You always have to cater to that.
But as long as you're catering to majority, that rules. Okay. Because you're not gonna make everybody happy, but it's good if you can. But most of the time, as long as you got majority rules, you know what I'm saying? That's what happens. So when I did at the New Year's party, it was all right. I'm not gonna come in there and play mad reggae and soca, because majority of the people want to hear the old school. You get what I'm saying? Right. But it's certain people that do want to hear the reggae and soca. So
and new school,
right? So the majority of the rules was I play the old school, right? So same thing this is what happened.
Well, our next party we want a lot more new school.
So I played the old school, right? Got everybody warmed up. Everybody was enjoying itself, and then there was the younger people, like Malik's daughter and so on. It was like, yo, Lennox, when you gonna play?
They was.
You know what I'm saying? So I said,
family,
I got y'all. You know what I'm saying? Just let me get this out the way. Let me, let me hold them down.
I want to say this, right?
And I did that. Didn't I do that, Malik?
There was
I killed it the way that they were like. I mean,
you killed
satisfied.
it. You did kill it. There was a lot of new school. A lot of new school. That was, everybody enjoyed it.
Right. I felt like I saved the new school for like, I must have did it like 30, 40 minutes. I felt.
Yeah, because you gave soca and reggae like maybe like less than a half an hour, maybe
correct.
Like 25 minutes. Because I'm
Right.
trying to count it.
Right.
And they was happy.
Right.
Well, you know he's Haitian.
Okay. I did play.
He had a whole
right. I did play compa.
entourage.
I did.
Yeah, you did play it.
See?
You did
and
play
I
it.
said that. I was like, yo, is there any Haitian people
You
in the
did say
building?
it. You did
And
say
I
it.
gave them at least 1 or 2, 3 records that,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? To satisfy
them.
Like we heard our, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta ask him. Does he know Millie Mel?
He don't know that record.
No.
Yeah.
I definitely
Hey,
do.
baby,
He don't know.
Millie Mel.
He don't know. He don't know that record.
Nah,
Nah, he don't know that record. Nah.
Shout out to
He probably know more of the up to date. These are old school Haitian music.
Millie Mel. Yo, I'm dying to hear this song. Yo, he said it's this Haitian song
Right.
called Millie Mel
Right.
that they play for 2 hours straight.
Wow.
You know,
I believe it.
Haitian music is long.
Right.
You know?
That, yeah. And you could honestly, let I love playing Haitian music like compa. Yeah.
Like compa? Yeah.
Basically play. It's easy. That I'm gonna say why it's easy because you can let the song just rock.
You just let it
And
rock.
then soon as if it's like 4-8 minutes, whatever, they will dance the whole song, and then that's when you start mixing it in near the end. So it makes the party even more easier to do because you don't really have to jump from record to record. You just let the records play.
Yeah.
You know Haitian music?
Yes, I know Afro beats. I know Haitian music. I know Spanish music. I know American music. I know
Salsa,
disco. I know
merengue.
salsa. I know merengue. I know
Are you
bachata.
serious?
Yes. I know pop music. Yes, I know reggae. I know dance hall. So when you go to my laptop,
So you just love music?
yes, but that was because of how I was raised. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that's amazing because I usually don't hear that from DJs.
Right.
Yeah. Usually they got the ear for music, so they have to keep in tune, even if they don't like the music, because you remember they working for the crowd, the audience. So
Right.
They have to make
You
sure
could
they're
put
in
me.
tune to anything.
You could put me in any situation. Since I've been doing it for so long, you could put me in any situation I'm gonna get through.
Any relationships with the Clues, the Envies?
Oh yeah, I
stuff
met
like that? 'Cause, you know, I know
I
them
met
guys.
Clue back in the days. I met Envy back in the days.
Cool dude. Envy
Right,
is
right.
my boy.
I met like so many DJs.
Yeah.
Especially I met a lot of celebrities too.
I ain't never gonna forget Envy. He gave me my first break on like when I used to be part of a group,
Right.
you know, rap group.
Mm-hmm.
Then I became solo. Envy gave me my first break
Right.
on his blend tape.
You ain't gonna get out of it. What was the name of the rap group?
Dirty Slings.
Wow.
That was me and my partner Strife. So it was Menace and
Wow.
Strife is Dirty Slings. And then I
Wow.
became solo, so it was just Kez Menace.
What was your rap name?
Kez Menace was my rap name, Kez Menace. So we were actually well known.
Kez Menace?
Kez Menace. We was actually well known out in Queens
Wow.
back then. You know, I work with Sha Money,
Right.
from Teamwork, you know,
Yeah.
so it's like we just had a family basically,
Right.
you know. So,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of these guys are still my friends. We have a personal relationship. So, other than that,
Right.
so it's all, I mean, from you being from Queens, I know you know a lot of those Queens DJs.
Right.
Ike Love, you
Right.
know, them dudes.
I met
Dog Time.
Time.
I met
Mhm.
all of those guys coming up, like American and Caribbean. So it was like the experience was like dope. Like my history of what I've been through and the things I accomplished is like, I'm just thankful that I was able to do the things and be able to still be doing it right now, without stopping. You know what I'm saying? But
DJing for how long then? So how many
say
years?
I'm 34, so I say about maybe 17 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Cause I was like 13, 11, something like around there, like 13.
Wow.
So that's maybe more, right?
So
Like
so
13, 15,
so I
if
see
do
you
the
have a
math.
little you have a Def Jam connection because on your
Oh
Instagram page. So
I just
how
got
did that come about?
I just got signed to Def Jam, to be in a Def Jam DJ. Basically, what they have us doing is when Def Jam has like the artists that they sign and stuff like that, you help push the artist records. Yeah, okay. So when I'm in clubs and stuff like that, or on my mixtapes, stuff like that, I put the songs out on the mixtape, so my following.
That's what a lot of labels is doing. That
Right, and they just started
labels,
doing that.
A lot of labels is seem to be doing that.
Right.
What they doing is they signing DJs to promote artists that I came from the music industry.
Right.
I have a long history in the music industry. I worked at ASCAP.
Right.
From ASCAP, I went to Koch Entertainment, which is now E1. Then went to EMI, North America. So that's pretty much my background is music publishing. So,
Got you.
That's pretty much my background. Not so much in the creative side, but I know a lot of these guys, the songwriters, the publishers, and stuff like that. So I know what they're doing now. A lot of the labels is actually signing a lot of the DJs and stuff. That's a good opportunity right there.
Yeah, it helps me be more, I guess, have a stronger relationship with the artist, build a relationship with the artist, because it's more like now, since I'm coming from the label aspect of it, I'm more hands-on. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, Lennox, how this record doing? This record is doing this in the club, or you know what I'm saying? This is the type of responses it's getting.
At this point, you ever think about becoming a producer? Because like I said, I know a lot of DJs now.
Well, me personally, I never really thought about doing that.
Y'all got the ear for it, so
you're right. I was just more like, let me just be a DJ. You know what I'm saying? And then here and there, I would try to make some remixes and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But mostly just being a DJ and just trying to help out me possible, because I get a lot of artists hit me up all the time, and if I could do anything to help, I help them. A lot of the DJs, and I'm not saying I don't want to say most, but I could say a lot of DJs that's at certain levels, not everybody, but they are definitely taking money from the actual artists to help them push their records and stuff like that. And the clubs, especially in the strip clubs.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
They'll give you for instance, I don't really do strip clubs like that, but the times that I did get booked to DJ in strip clubs and seeing how the business aspect of it would work, you would get booked right from the owner or from a promoter to DJ an hour, but then in that hour, an artist might be in there with his peoples, or he might be one of the artists that wants to come in that night and say to you, yo, Lennox, can you play my record? You know what I'm saying? I'll give you $100.
Right.
Without you even asking for it, because they so used to DJs at that caliber charging. So they would just offer. Or some DJs might say, yo, give me $100, I'll play your record. Because it could be whoever's in the club. It could be celebrities in the club, whoever. They're going to hear that record and see the response from it.
Right.
So then that helps out the artist. Yo, to the bigger artists, yo, that's my record. And if they like it, they might jump on the record, and that might help that artist.
When your record jumps when you get in rotation at strip clubs, that's pretty big for an artist.
Right, it helps.
It really helps. Big time. Yeah,
a lot of artists that are now that have songs on their mixtapes and stuff, when they give it to DJs like myself, and we play it to that audience because we're in there. You know what I'm saying? You don't know everybody hears it. So whoever the owners probably booked or promoters booked, that's the bigger celebrity. It could be 50 Cent or somebody.
And they want to see how females dance off of it.
Right.
Because the dancers kind of tell them, yo, I can shake off of this.
Right. But even,
I'm jiggling, the cellulite is jiggling big time.
Of you, Malik, you in the club, you just getting a drink or two. You know what I'm saying? And you could be there for a business meeting, whatever. And you hear the record and you that record is hot. You know what I'm saying? That has you bumping,
and the plastic is jiggling.
Yeah, so that's the whole aura.
The plastic is jiggling.
It's profitable for not only the club, but it could actually open some doors for the artists themselves, especially if they not known. If it's a demo, if it's something that they recorded, it could definitely open some doors.
Definitely shout out to the strip club DJs. That's not me specifically. I'm more you know what I'm saying? I'm merely family orientated. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm more, you know what I mean?
She's like, he sure is. You need to be.
Right. So I'm more family. I'm the family guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but strip clubs aren't real parties, though. Right. They're not, they are.
You're right.
But they're not parties. I like.
You don't hear everything in the strip club. You just hear straight with the strip club. Yeah, exactly. To
To
me, I feel like it's a lot of trap music. That's all trap music and that type of
how do you
music
feel
is.
about trap music?
My opinion. I feel like I like it, right? Because it has its own sound.
Okay,
So I do like trap music. But
right,
it's not something I can listen to all the time.
right.
But not every type of music I can listen to every time, all the time either.
That's true. But
Yeah.
my only
I can't
thing,
listen to it all the time.
my only thing with trap music is, to me, it lacks a level of artistry.
That's true.
And and listen, I don't want to be one of the old school dudes that's judging the younger
Right.
dudes.
That's why I try not to.
I never want to be
But
that.
I get you exactly what you're saying.
But because 21 Savage was talking something about the old school dudes aren't respecting us, the new school hip hop, and I don't think it's that. And first of all, stop being so sensitive. 21 Savage. Lighten up. You got to be able to take some criticism. That's number one. But don't tell people who originated hip hop. Right. My era created something that's gonna be around for another 50 years. I was a part of it. The way we dressed, the way we walked, the way it wasn't popular to do. So you're coming into something that's now popular. Back when we did it, it wasn't popular.
Right.
So we have the right to say, yo, look. Because I embrace newness, so I never want to be the one, like, if you listen to all January's music, the people from the R&B era didn't like hip hop. The people from the blues era didn't like the R&B.
Right.
So you could go back to the 1920s. Right. I don't want to be one of those people because I embrace the newness of creativity. But we also have a right to say, yo, man, thumbs up.
Right.
Or thumbs down.
Right.
So what's one of the biggest honors? One of the biggest honors is if you're a rapper, and Rakim come up and say, yo, man, you dope.
Right.
Yo, that means something.
Right.
I mean, if you Drake or Future or whoever you are, you want EPMD to be like,
right. That's a fact.
Yo, kid, you dope.
Right.
But now if EPMD and them like, we ain't kind of feel, that don't mean we hating.
Right.
Maybe and so that's my only thing with the trap music. I feel like they're all cookie cutter. They're looking at what somebody else is doing. And the label saying, yo, sound like that. And you just sound, but where's your message? Where's your authenticity?
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's
opinion.
As far as
who are you? Like, you sound like him, but who are you?
Right.
I mean, I agree. I mean, it's a culture for us, because we lived it.
Right.
Like a lot of that stuff you was playing Lennox at the New Year's Eve party.
Yeah.
I mean, we lived that music, brother.
Let me say this to you right here, because I said this to Malik off the air. I called Malik and I said, Malik, you are a good mic man. And he was like, you think so, Lennox? I said, yes, Malik. Let me explain why. I said, you lived that era.
Yeah.
So when I'm playing those records, you're bringing back so many dope memories of the people.
It helped. It definitely helped.
Helps.
It definitely helped.
And he was like, you really think so? I said, Malik, trust me when I say this.
He probably didn't realize it, but it helped,
Right. You're bringing a vision of image of, and you saying certain things when y'all were growing up and certain places y'all was at and how y'all dressed and what cars y'all was driving.
And it was definitely that type of crowd that was there
right,
that could relate to a lot of stuff he was saying. Like crowd was
certain
perfect
summer
for it.
days, you know what I'm saying, in a park jam or something, and that record came on, and y'all was dressed fly, and y'all had, looking clean, bringing people remember that.
Yeah.
Especially the certain things that probably happened that day that everybody spoke about, and Malik saying, "Yo, you remember blah blah blah?" You know what I'm saying? At the park jam.
That's what made the night even more made people
and that's
comfortable.
what I was saying to him. And I'm like, yo, me being younger and noticing and understanding, I was there, but I wasn't there. I was little. You know what I'm saying? But because I heard the records repeatedly when I was young, because I was paying attention because I love music. You get what I'm saying?
So you just love the pure artistry of DJing.
Right.
That's your thing. That's why,
Right.
you know, so you're like, yo, the producing and all that. Okay, that's fine. But I like, so you're like, you know, shoemaker stick to thy last. You know, you could be a jack of all trades and a master of none. And so sometimes people want to be, they want to, come on, Butch, don't call me that. Sometimes people want to be everything to everybody.
Right.
And they want to be a lot of things. But what you're saying is, yo, man, I just want to be one thing supremely great.
Right.
I just want to be a great DJ. And I guess that's, you know, partly why, you know, you was referred. Because I think it was my daughter. My daughter was like, we got to get DJ Lennox.
Right. Because I was asking Malik, like, how did my name come about?
Yeah, we got to get DJ Lennox.
How did she know?
I mean, she's been the parties he's done.
Oh, okay.
So, listen. So, and we're here with DJ Lennox on Conversations with Malik. What, let me ask you. So, where are you at now in your journey as far as DJing and some of the things that you got going on? What can we look forward to coming up?
All right. Let me go back a little bit and then go right into that. All right. So back to the Mr. C thing. I still have to really tell that story because that's an important story of my life. That helped change DJ Lennox getting to the next level. All right. So you remember I was telling you guys I was in elite art playing music and I see certain things. So me being a younger guy and being around a circle of DJs from Queens that were already known, going to Brooklyn where you don't know nobody, they had the circle of people that I came from knew them, the popular Brooklyn DJs. But some reason Brooklyn DJs felt like Queens DJs couldn't DJ, except our circle, right? So I was like the youngest one out of that circle. So when I went there, this is how I gained my stripes. Because in Brooklyn, you gotta gain like your army stripes for some reason, right, Malik?
Yeah.
I don't like if it's
they don't give you nothing.
Yeah, they don't. You gotta earn it. So it was another DJ, which is a DJ now on Hot 97 Magic, right? DJ Magic, right? Magic. Now, me and Magic go way back since those days. Magic was the hip hop DJ at that time in the club. Now I'm from Queens and I'm a hip hop DJ. They considered, but I could play everything, right? So I'm on one of the biggest nights in the club, and I'm playing hip hop when it really supposed to be him in that club playing hip hop. So what they try to do is make it fair, where it was like, all right, we're gonna have Lennox one night, and then we're gonna have Magic one night. But it got to a point that people were just requesting me more because I was doing stuff a little bit different from Magic. Because Magic wasn't really playing like reggae and soca and stuff like that. He was playing predominantly hip hop, but I could do both, all three basically. So they would put me at a certain point in time and play hip hop, but then like they would leave Lennox on because he could play everything else too.
Right.
So I'm prime time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about like thousands of people in this club every week, and I'm some of the artists and some of the people that's doing it now was working. I was working a line side with them, like DJ Nori from Power 105. He was MCing for me because I didn't talk. I just played music.
Okay.
The artist Ricky Blaze. Ricky Blaze used to MC.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
For me, while I was the one mixing.
Yeah, the MC helps the party.
Right. So because they know everybody from Brooklyn. They know who's in the crowd.
Gotcha.
I don't know everybody.
Give the shout outs,
right. I just know how to
talk.
play the music, right?
Yeah.
Like how Malik.
Yeah, like how I was doing.
Right. So
and that was my first time.
Right. I didn't even have to say nothing. Malik was doing it for me.
Yeah, I was talking.
And I'm just dropping the records. You get what I'm saying?
I was running my mouth.
Right. So I was good at doing that. I didn't really know like how to really talk because it had a certain way. I didn't have that, I guess, that confidence yet to talk. But the confidence behind the turntables, you could put me behind some turntables. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
But speaking, I'm going to shut up. So doing that. So one night, process of me and Magic going back and forth. I had to gain my stripes. So they were doing like subliminals, Magic doing subliminals.
Yeah,
so,
Brooklyn.
It's
real Brooklyn.
So
I know how they.
So basically, one night, like after he did that, everybody from Queens came out the following week, and it was like, "Yo, we got Lennox's support."
Yeah, we got your back.
Right. The same night, Mr. C came. right? Mind you, I don't know. I heard him as this, but I don't know.
Right.
It's like, yo, this dude is dope. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So I'm playing. I'm talking about the hardest core, like Brooklyn rough
Yeah.
crowd. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Ugly people in the crowd.
like guns could get shot off.
Yeah.
And
Red
it's normal,
eyes,
right?
they looking.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
Girls with stab wounds and stuff like that. And then, mind you,
cuts on their face.
Right, but you got your
Bad
nice joint,
skin.
right? But you got the hardcore.
They
You know what I'm
hair,
saying?
their hair ain't had
Right.
oil in it in years.
But everybody knows each other, and then if you didn't know, everybody was still that comfortable atmosphere because they were in a party. So everybody's good. So I play a remix that I made, right? And mind you, it was like way Magic did it. It was like he was trying to prove a point. You know what I'm saying? The following week. So my week was like, everybody like, what Lynn's gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So my support came out, and then I made a remix with other. So Magic was doing the same thing I was doing, but he was doing his remixes different, and I was doing my remixes different. You get what I'm saying? So I did a remix that night. I'll never forget it. And Mr. C seen how I was. First, he seen me killing the crowd, right?
Right.
And he sees Nori talking, and he's just standing. He's standing literally right next to us, and he's just looking at the crowd, going crazy. And he's just looking at me like, "Yo, who is this kid? Like this little kid?" Because I look younger than what you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you still do.
Right. So he's looking at me like, "Yo, this kid is tearing this up." And then I dropped the remix, right? When I dropped that remix, he has said the story too, like to his following and stuff like that. He came right and stopped. Remember what I was telling you, the disrespectful, like
yeah.
He stopped the CD player. I was like, oh my God, what did I do? You get what I'm saying?
Did I do something wrong?
Did I do something wrong?
Oh shoot!
Right?
Why
everybody's in a frenzy? Right? He stopped the CD player, stopped the music.
Yeah.
Took the mic from the audience and was like, yo, I never seen nobody do nothing like this. Who is this kid?
Wow.
Like, yo, I have to take this remix.
Wow.
That this kid made, DJ Lennox. That's your name, DJ Lennox? Yo, DJ Lennox. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take this remix and I'm going to take it up to Hot 97 and I'm going to go crazy on the radio for you.
What remix was
That's big.
It was, at that time, it was the Ghetto Stories by Baby Sham with I Be on the Kryptonite. It was that remix.
That's big.
Right.
Coming from C.
Right. Now, those two records were big at the time. That Kryptonite record was big, you know what I'm saying, for the A. And then the Ghetto Stories was the big Caribbean record. Yeah, but American people knew that. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody could relate to it. So when I put both of those together and the way I did it, the response was, it was like how Relic said, like, I would never think in a million it would sound so good like this together. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So when I dropped it, mind you, they already at the.
How many people were there about?
It was like 1,000 something people in there.
Wow.
So he's looking at the crowd,
Brooklyn.
right? And I'm playing hardcore, like Biggie, all that, and then I just come in with that. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
And the reaction at that time, like those type of records, them ATL records, was like Little John.
Oh.
And you know that.
Okay.
Yeah, all of that stuff was real popular at the time.
The crunk.
Right. So
yeah,
the crowd was crazy. And then I dropped that. Mind you, I'm in a Caribbean/American club, so everybody could relate to it. So they went crazy. So when he stopped the music and did all of that, and he was like, "Yo, I'm taking it. I'm gonna bring you up there, all of that in front of everybody."
Wow.
And he was like, "You got on another CD?" And I did. I had two because left and right.
Yeah.
So he took that CD. He took it from me. And then I played it on the other side, and he played it. And he said like a speech and shouted me out and everything like that.
Wow.
I played the record, and they went like.
Yo, how did that feel, man?
Yo, I was standing there like my hero just, you know what I'm saying, co-signed me in front of everybody.
You know what? It's amazing you saying
You get what I'm saying?
Because that's one of those moments, Lennox, where you get those moments in life, Joes.
Right.
And I've had those moments where all of my days of practice, hard work,
right,
sacrifice, not having time for myself working at my craft, right? That there's those moments where everything crystallizes, where I'm like, I'm not even in a place of time and space, where it's just like I'm in this special place,
Right.
where everything makes sense,
Right. Like
and
it
it's
stops.
clear.
Like sound, everything stops.
This is where you're 100% clear, like, this is who I am,
Right.
and this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
And a lot of people miss out on those moments,
Right.
because they're trying to be something you're not. And I'm telling you, if you haven't experienced those moments,
Right.
you're not living. And Drake said everybody dies, but not everybody lives.
Right. I felt like the sound, everything slowed down. Like I was in a matrix or something when it was actually happening. I'm just like, yo, like, wow, like this really just happened to me.
I've been there.
You get what I'm saying? So after that moment, from this day, after that moment, he's been looking out for me. He brought me up to Hot 97, played the remix, shouted me out. People calling me like, yo, Lennox, I hear your remix. Mr. C going crazy on Hot 97 playing your remixes. You know what I'm saying? So people that didn't know DJ Lennox started knowing DJ Lennox, and the people that did know DJ Lennox from South Jamaica and from Brooklyn and all these other places,
That,
like
that opened the doors. That
right. So now it opened the variety
to start off with your career,
right, of everybody. I would say the important people in the business started knowing DJ Lennox. You get what I'm saying? Other than the people that's already important, but I mean like everybody, because everybody listened to the radio. And everybody listened to Mr. C. You get what I'm saying? So now the ACC co-signing this young guy. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, the older guys was always co-signing certain young guys because, you know what I mean? We were like the next one coming up. So that's how I built a relationship with C. And C learned how I am.
that automatically opened up the doors for your worth at this point.
Right.
In terms of what you worth.
Right.
Because usually, when you get, it's almost like, when you win an award, when you win an Oscar, it opens doors for your worth.
Right.
So now any business that you have with anybody is renegotiation time.
Right.
So what just happened to you is Mr. C noticed you. Not only he noticed you, he interrupted an event.
Right.
You was afraid and thought that he interrupted this event because he was sabotaging what you was doing. But what he just did was he opened up the door for your worth.
Right.
And he put a stamp.
Yeah, he put a stamp on me,
He co-signed you even better, and he ended up playing your remix on the radio.
Right.
Right then and there,
Right.
Lennox it became a brand.
Right. And I was able to get his direct number. I could call him and ask him questions and, get advice, all that. And before that, Bobby and Jabba was doing the same for me too. Like Bobby Condas, like I look at him like I look at Mr. C.
Those are big
you get
DJs.
what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
Bobby Condas is like a godfather to me. So he taught me a lot of stuff too as well, and gave me that cosign. You know what I'm saying? So what I started doing was when I looked at it from a young age, I started looking at it certain things as a business aspect because of them. They like, yo, Lennox, keep your own parties. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a following that supports you. So what I started doing was throwing my own events. And from this day, that's been helping me to show my worth. You know what I'm saying? So I would say, for instance,
and we've been talking.
Right. So I would be like, all right, my birthday, my birthday this year is going to be the 14th annual. So that means I've been having my birthday party for 13 years. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Moving forward. So it's going to be 2018 makes my 14th annual.
So on your website,
right,
there's a bunch of parties. These are actually your parties.
My party.
I seen a boat ride.
That was mine.
All white.
Yes.
That was July.
Yep, every July. That's exactly what I'm trying to talk to Malik about.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we talking.
Yeah, to be involved with that.
Right.
But that's basically what I've been doing, annual things.
So every July.
Right. So what I've been doing is say for instance, y'all guys, like I did the New Year's Eve party. I built a relationship with y'all. So every year y'all probably gonna do that. So what ends up happening, y'all following gets to know DJ Lennox and then get to see what I'm doing and then want to support me because they think that I'm a good DJ. So that's what I do it for for the people that wants to support me as I support them. You get what I'm saying? Right. So it's one hand washes the other. And I build
you build a rapport, you build a relationship, and this is what this show is about.
And it keeps growing,
inspiring each other, working together,
right?
Bringing people together as a unit,
right?
That's some of the things that we don't do. I mean, it could be in any way of life. It could be music, it could be relationships, it could be business, it could be whatever, you know.
Yeah, and just to segue into, so that's another reason why we're doing this show, because we want to connect all the different business people. Like, this is also a platform as this grows.
Right.
Whenever you got stuff going on, we're going to have it set up where you could call in or you could just come and be like, yo, I got this going on. And we sit here and talk about it, and we talk about your journey.
Right.
Because we don't celebrate each other enough. And, we need to make sure that we give each other a platform to actually come on and talk about the journey as we go along. We going in hard in that garage in there, man. We setting up our studio. Come April, we gonna start doing construction, and it's gonna look just as good as any studio you can go to.
Right. That sounds dope.
And we want it to be a place, it's gonna be comfortable, where she could come in and sit down and relax. It's gonna be set up real nice where we could just sit around and talk about what we doing. And what's going on, and some of the projects that we doing. Me and you've been talking. We've been talking about some comedy stuff, and doing some things together. But that came about. So we formed, an initial. It's in its premature stages, but we formed an alliance through just the party. So now from that, we can continue to grow and do more things together because we're not going nowhere. And we connected. Our initial talk wasn't even about necessarily making money. It was about what our motives are behind what we do.
Right.
We connected spiritually.
Right. Literally.
I mean, and so I know that, that don't, to people that's like, people are, that don't sound too good, right? It don't sound macho enough. And we were talking about, with Magic Johnson and Isaiah Thomas when they apologized, Magic apologized to him and they broke down crying on national TV in front of everybody, that we kind of need more of that. But we also need people to look, I tell people, yo, man, the money's going to come.
Right.
Whatever you think you need on the exterior, that's going to come. But I gotta connect to. We was just here with Justin Mars, and shout out Justin Mars, who's gonna be our marketing director. We're really serious about the show. We had a marketing meeting before this show, and we're gonna have more marketing meetings. We're not just no flimsy. I don't do things flimsy and just fly by night.
Right.
If I'm doing this, I'm in this
for the long run.
This is gonna be successful.
Right.
Like my other businesses are successful.
Right.
It's gonna be. I know it is. It's not even, I'm not trying to see how this works. No, it's gonna be successful.
Right.
But I connected with you, and I connected with Jeff. Me and Jeff have known each other for years. Through business. We connected through business.
Right.
Because of the motivating factor. Right. So like Mr. C didn't see the fact that you was a bling bling DJ. He saw the love of you wanting to make the crowd happy.
Yeah, that's
and
exactly
that translated into. So people got it wrong. What was Justin just saying to us? He was saying he's worked for big companies. He's vice president over 2 media marketed companies, but left to do his own thing because he wants to do what he's doing with guys like us.
Right.
That's all I want around me.
Right.
I could talk to somebody for a little while, and when I get an idea of their motives and who and what they are, I'm automatically like, we just had a conversation, but it ain't going no further than that.
Right.
Because it's the motive that's gonna allow us what our inner motivation is to do whatever it is that we're doing. That's gonna allow us to still be successful at it 2-3 years from now, and that's why the party was a smash.
Yes, it was.
We was turning people away.
I told them that though.
And
I told him.
Yeah.
Throw me that in there.
Yeah, he did tell me
told
the
him
thing.
that.
He said, but it was our reasons.
Right.
It was the reasons behind the party.
Yep.
Because anybody can throw a party. Right. But there was people that was leaving the party like, yo, thank you, man. Hitting me up the next day. Like, yo, I needed that.
Right. I even called him. Just to tell him, yeah, did it sink in? He said, yeah.
I mean, it's a real good thing,
Dope.
man. And I what I wanna say is, you know, I appreciate you, you know, taking this time to allow us to you know, see your journey and hear your story, because all you're doing is you just influencing and other people that's listening right now that's looking to be a DJ or even their business mind. I mean, it's all about getting in where you fit in,
right,
and being humble,
right.
And you know, we appreciate you taking the time to come to the show and allow us to hear your story and how you got started. And hey, man, you know, we just wish you a bunch of success, man. And I know it doesn't stop from here, brother.
Yeah, some of the things that I accomplished before we go is after doing the thing for Mr. C actually got me on Hot 97. So I did Hot 97 for a couple, say about, I think 2 years.
Okay.
I did it for 2 years. I was on the air. I did that. And then when I left Hot 97, I ended up doing TV. I was on Fox 5 TV. Okay. So I did that. That was a super dope accomplishment. Wow. And then from there, came right into the Def Jam situation. So in the process of me doing that, I've been throwing parties, doing big events, you know, like the boat ride, my barbecue, my birthday. Those like some of the big events that I have thrown in Queens. And everywhere I DJ, I always try to put Queens on the map. That's right, baby. That's, you know what I'm saying? And try to do things for Queens. Because I feel like everybody else is doing it for everybody else. Yeah. But nobody's really trying to really, it's certain people that's doing it, but Queens, I want to be one of those people to do it as well for Queens. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And bring different acts and different situations to Queens for the people that don't go everywhere else and feel comfortable staying in their neighborhood. So that's some of the things I was talking to Malik about with a comedy show, something like that. Yeah. I just had my birthday party with the Instagram star Just Hilarious from Wildin' Out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So she did my birthday party. It was dope. Good turnout. Built a good relationship with her. And in the process of like me coming up, I was able to meet a lot of artists like Drake. I got pictures with like everybody that I met on a personal level, like how I'm sitting here with y'all guys. I was able to talk to and learn certain things from. You know what I'm saying? Nice. And DJ for some of them for different like events and stuff like that. And besides me doing like the clubs and stuff, I do weddings, sweet 16s, bat mitzvahs. I do all of that. Baby showers, birthdays. You don't shy towards no, I don't stop.
The 1-year-old baby showers are like parties now. Right. So they're not even for the baby.
So when people want to book me for anything, they can book me for, if you want a club DJ, you know, if you want a private event DJ, I have all the professional equipment and all that.
You don't shy towards none of that stuff.
No, I do everything.
No matter what your status is with Def Jam, Mr. C, your platforms on Hot 97, your Fox 5 platform. Right. You don't shy towards none of the small things, and which is good because you try to make time for that. Even if they want to hire you for those services, you try to make time for that, and that's good.
If anybody needs me
it's
for
the
anything,
small things, and it ain't really, you know, what is small thing. Exactly. You get what I'm saying? You know, you never know who will hear you. I heard TNT at a baby shower.
See?
And he rocked it like, you know, you would think he was in front of, you know, a crowd of 1,000 people. So
that's exactly
you never know who you're auditioning for.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So, you know, what do you got coming up, and how can people, you know, get in touch with you?
So, basically, what I got coming up now, since the beginning of the year, I've been working on a dope comedy show with this man right here, Malik.
Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. We're trying to put something super dope together for April Fools. We're trying to put a dope show together. We're getting some good comedians, me, Malik, Joe Show, and a couple other people, you know what I'm saying, that we're working behind the scenes trying to gather up certain things. So the next thing is the comedy show, and then I think I'm gonna do my boat ride. I don't know if I'm gonna do something in between that. Me and Malik, we still gotta after the comedy show see. But the focus right now is doing a comedy show and then leading into the boat ride. But if the boat ride has been going on at 500. No, the boat fits. I'm sorry, 600 people.
Wow.
300, 3 floors. So the way that I do it, last year we did, I think 500 people. We did like 500 people.
Showed
That's why
up?
you seen the line. Yeah, 500 people.
Yeah, because that line looked deep.
Yeah, we did 500 people last year. So for the people that's tuned in, please support the boat ride. It's in the city. It's an all white with a dab of color. You can be whatever color you want. You know what I'm saying? 4th of July weekend is every year. It's July 3rd.
Nice.
Because there's no work, no school the next year.
Okay.
The boat is super sexy, nice. It's leaving from Pier 36 in the city, right off the FDR.
Nice.
Right, parking right next door.
Mm-hmm.
And we do the free food for everybody. And you just pay for your drinks. And I try to bring like dope DJs like Mr. C and certain like things like that to the table. And the way that I do it, since I'm, versatile, I try to cater it where I'll do each floor different. So one floor will be like a hip hop floor, one school floor will be like a soca reggae floor, and then another floor will be an old school floor. So if you particular like old school and you want to be in your age bracket, in your environment, you go to the old school floor. You get what I'm saying? And you will still hear all the music that you wanted to hear when you was growing up for that era and that time frame, because that's what the old school floor. So I'll bring like the dope old school DJs that people want, you know what I'm saying? Put them up there. But the only thing that I work so much on the boat, because since I'm a part of the situation and people really come in, I literally have to DJ on each floor because people want to hear me.
Wow.
So I would go on a reggae soca floor, do a reggae, you know what I'm saying, soca.
I know you sleep the whole day the next day.
Right.
Man. Oh.
But that is what I wish for. That never happened. I end up doing an annual 4th of July barbecue that people book me for, and I just go and do that.
Wow.
The next day.
Wow.
July 5th is the day that I get to.
You get to.
I get
fall
to actually
into a
rest.
coma.
Right.
Yeah, listen, after that New Year's party, I thought my organs were shutting down.
Right.
Can you imagine how he?
Oh my goodness! So listen, man. Let them tell us how they can find you on Instagram.
Oh yeah. My Instagram and all social media is DJ Lennox NYC. I'll spell it out. DJ LENNOX NYC. All right. I'll do it one more time. DJ LENNOX NYC. And you can contact me, and if you want to book me for anything, you can go straight to my Instagram or my website, my number, or you can message me on Facebook. Anything. All you gotta do is put it all together, DJ Lennox NYC, and you could find me. You can see everything I'm about. You can see my history, the things I've did, things I got coming up, my mixes on my SoundCloud, my Mixcloud. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that, Malik. Because I did, but before Malik booked me, right? And he called me. I said, Malik, Malik, look at it. I'm saying this the most humblest way possible. Just look into me and then see what I'm about. All right? Because Malik never heard me DJ. You get what I'm saying? So I said, just Malik, please just look into me. Right. And I was just like, because he didn't have to. He could have just let T do it. Right. And Malik, are we gonna keep it? We're gonna keep it all the way 100. All right. So we're gonna keep it all the way 100. Right. So I asked him, the humblest way, please just check me out, Malik. See if you like, what I'm doing and how I'm doing things. So Malik goes and is like, all right. And I thought you could ask anybody about how I DJ. Anybody, if you ever heard DJ Lennox, and see if anybody knows me, blah blah blah. So Malik went and did that, right? But I still wasn't satisfied with Malik. You know what I'm saying? Whatever he heard, he said he heard nothing but good things. But we're going to let Malik say whatever he heard, right? So from there, I was like, all right, I'm a DJ. And then I still was very concerned because I wanted Malik I wanted his opinion on what he thought of what I did at the party. Right, Malik?
Yeah. And look, so...
Malik, keep it...
No, but look, the party...
All right.
And the party was wonderful. I hate the fact that the music cut off on you.
Right.
Because...
But that was out of my hands.
Music is about rhythm.
Right.
technical difficulty.
Yeah, that was out of my hands. The sound guy, they had to work that out.
And you know, I see a lot of things that we could do different from next year. We definitely gonna book the whole place. So we're gonna have upstairs and downstairs. We're gonna start at 9 and try to end at 4. We're gonna do the food thing. And you know what? I think there was too much seating in there. We don't need that much seating because we need people dancing. You agree with you agree with that? It was too much seating, so we're gonna set it up. You were talking about Joe's and Tracy was talking about, maybe setting up some of those bar stool type of thing where people can kind of stand, lean, and less tables. But we got time for that. We got many more things we're gonna do before that.
Right.
But what I will say is, I saw that. I looked at you and I was just like, "Yo, we're gonna get it." T ran up. Mm-hmm. He got the backup. Right. Thank God. I was like, "Yo, bring your equipment anyway." And you, and what I look for intangibles, and you didn't let, because I know some people that are prima donnas that would have been like, "Yo, I can't do this, man. I can't." There's DJs that'll do that.
Yeah. Right.
No, seriously. Mm-hmm. And see, they would have had problems with me.
Right.
If they did that with me.
Right.
They might still be recovering from something right now. So, look, so there's DJs that have been, nah, man, right?
Right. That's a fact.
I can't, I'm sorry. I did my best, man.
I can't work under these conditions.
I can't work under these conditions.
Right.
And what you did, you gathered yourself and just said, okay. You had to restart twice.
Yeah. And
then it kept. So, look, man, I applaud you for that. We're gonna, listen, we're gonna do some other things. And the best is yet to come, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, Malik, you still went around of saying your research of what I had to get from you to get the Malik standing ovation, like, Lennox, you're good in my book, because that's what I cared about more than the money, and more than you feeling like Lennox is the person that I can count on to DJ for me. Yeah. That was more important to me than anything. Yeah. And everybody that I DJ for.
And you called me the next day for that. Right. And that meant a lot.
That's what I care about. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That, like, if I DJ for you and you spend your heart working on it, and to me, I'm going to do the best I can to make that work.
Yeah, he called me.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And by feeling how Malik felt, I wanted to know, like, Malik, you sure? Like, he's like, Lennox have no issues. Mm-hmm.
And I would have told you if I did.
Right. That made me feel good. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because he know that I put my best foot forward, and every time I DJ. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the type of person, I go for the energy. You give me good energy, I give you good energy. You get what I'm saying? Right. You put that effort into me, I'm gonna put 10 times more.
And he let me rock on the mic, because at first I didn't know, because some DJs do a lot of talking.
Right. I don't do that.
But guess what? I kind of didn't care. I paid money as my party, and I was talking.
And he killed it, too.
I was gonna talk.
He killed it.
I don't care if it was Kid Capri. Yo, be quiet. I'm on the mic.
He killed it. He bodied it. I was so happy he was talking. I was so happy for that. It worked out excellent.
Worked out, man. Yo, man, thanks for coming, man. We're going to let Jeff close us out. We got a couple things before we close.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jeff Joe's here. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Con W Malik. And I'll spell it again, CON as in Nancy, WMALIK. Also, like us on Facebook, Conversations with Malik. And also, follow us on Twitter at Con W Malik. And again, like I said, whoever have something real interesting, any special type of story that's going to be able to inspire some of our viewers, listeners, please hit us up. Don't be afraid. Con W Malik at gmail.com. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, Conversations with Malik. There you go. There we have it.
And I want to give a shout out to the and some of the businesses that make this whole thing possible, that's providing the funding for us to do this. The Laugh and Learn place on 228th Street, Merrick Boulevard in Queens, after school, preschool, summer camp, Tracy and Malik's Bus Company, Cheese Bus Inc. We've been around for 23 years. going strong. Creative Stream Academy after school program, and also listen, if you're looking for custom dresses, you could check out my daughter Shavona on Instagram at dirtymonroe.com. If you want a nice dress and you want to look nice for an event, sweet 16, wedding, whatever it is, this is the place to come to. You can hit her up. And listen, thanks for coming, my brother.
It's a pleasure, and I definitely love you guys for having me. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in and checking out my story. I really appreciate it.
Peace and blessings. Wow, we went on for 2 hours.
2 hours?
An hour and 40 minutes.